Biometrics in Minutes is brought to you by biometricupdate.com. Hello, I'm Joel McConvey from Biometric Update, and today we're talking to BU Editor-in-Chief Chris Burt about two big events in the biometrics space, one past and one coming up. The first was for MOSIP, or the Modular Open Source Identification Platform. The MOSIP Connect conference took place in Manila in March, and Chris was there to cover it. Chris, can you give me a summary of what was happening there and any key takeaways?
Sure, yeah. Myself and our colleague Lou Hai attended MOSIP Connect 2025 in Manila. And for this year's MOSIP Connect, there were a lot of conversations that went quickly from a problem statement or a specific use case right to technical details. And in talking to some of the other people at the event, some of the organizers from MOSIP, Ted Dunstone from Pixie Lab, who is an advisor to MOSIP, other observers, there were a real consensus that the conversation has matured quite a bit, and that's what allowed the people attending the event to get right into those technical details. There were groups like OpenID that were present as well to share the advances that they've made and the ways that those technical advances can enable the kinds of actual uses of digital identity and civil registration that MOSIP and its community are working on. There was also, I would say, a real coming together of Silicon Valley and Bangalore, which is the Silicon Valley of India, so-called, and their collaboration in Manila and work with the different countries in the MOSIP ecosystem really seems to be showing that some signs of coming together and moving beyond pilots to actual full-scale production rollouts, and that brings up those really specific issues, a lot of them technical, that were being discussed in depth at MOSIP Connect.
In May, Chris is traveling to Ethiopia to attend ID4Africa. This year, the conference's theme is Digital Identity at Scale, Prioritizing Use, Accelerating Impact. Chris, what do you expect to see at ID4Africa this year?
Yeah, you're right to call it that theme. It sort of shows where some of the commonality will be between the two events. MOSIP will have a big presence at ID4Africa, just as African countries had a significant presence at MOSIP. But one of the things that I was told by ID4Africa Executive Chairman Dr. Joseph Attic, that there will be 84 speakers from 30 African countries this year, which is up from 39 speakers from 20 countries last year. And that's somewhat reflective of the same maturation as was evident in Manila. And it's also a product of just the circumstances of Africa, where those 30 countries are among those all working actively on building up civil registration and digital identity systems. And so they're gaining expertise very rapidly that they can then share with each other. And that expertise is at this point going beyond things about how to set up a pilot or the very first stages of, say, biometric enrollment, and shifting more towards those same technical details about service delivery, about how to scale a digital identity project or platform. And so I'm expecting to see a lot of granularity in the discussion and a lot of exchanges of information where, for instance, one country may say, we are struggling with delivering emergency relief benefits in a disaster area, and another country will say, oh yeah, we just dealt with that exact issue, and here are some suggestions that we have. We've been sending people from Biometric Update since 2016, when one of our original co-founders, Ralston King, attended ID4Africa, and the change over that time frame is really remarkable. And I think what we'll really see this year is an extension of that change, where a lot of the knowledge sharing is not so much north to south, but is in fact global south countries sharing experience and knowledge with each other.
For more biometrics news, check out the Biometric Update podcast on all your favorite platforms.